We're getting ready to install a new graphic kit on this 23KX450. The things you need a heat gun, some good contact cleaner to make sure everything's clean, and you can use one of these to help install the graphics, or you can do it with your fingers. Okay, I really prefer putting graphics on brand new plastic. This bike has some plastic that's hardly used, so it's in really good shape. So we're going to clean it real good with contact cleaner, and we're going to reuse the old plastic because it's in really good shape. First, we like to hold the graphics up, line up the holes, make sure everything is going to line up right before we actually take the stuff off the back and start sticking it on. I usually start by pulling a little bit off right here, and then get this stuck where, lay it on where it needs to be, stick it in place right here. And then as we start going, we just peel it off and start laying it down. And don't be afraid if it's not perfect. You can pull it back off and redo it. You just want to try and work little pieces at a time and just push it so you don't get no air bubbles. When using a heat gun or a torch, make sure you do not get them too hot because you can ruin them pretty easily. If these weren't quite lined up at first, so we had to like lift this and we have to manipulate it a little bit to get the lines to line up. The fork guards are much easier to do off the bike, so we're going to take them off. And we actually put them on the bike, and then we'll put the fork guards back on. This fender had a few scratches in it, so we're going to take some real fine sandpaper and just lightly sand it to smoothen out the plastic. Then we're going to take some contact cleaner and clean it really well to make sure it's very clean and smooth. These Kawasaki front fenders are a little difficult. You want to kind of stick the front, make sure everything's straight. Just stick the front. I like to do side by side because there's a lot to these. They're kind of tricky. A little bubble there. If you get a little bit of glue on the outsides, you can just get some contact cleaner on a rag and it wipes right off. Since the back fender graphic goes up under here, it's easier if you take the side plates off, so you can lay it in here. It's always easier if you lay the flat down and then you work it down into like a goal. Anytime there's a goalie or a thing it has to fit into, you kind of have to work it down through there and then start laying it down. The hardest part is these areas that bend. Bubble right here, so you got to lift it up, get the bubble out. No bubbles, laid it there real nice. The job is complete. You can do it by yourself, but it's actually helpful to have an extra set of hands to help you out.